Let me read you a few scriptures you got to know. St. Luke's Gospel, chapter 9, in verse 26. These are the words of Jesus. For whosoever shall be ashamed of me and of my words, of him shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he shall come in his own glory and in his Father's and of the holy angels. You want Jesus to be ashamed of you? That means he will not want to associate with you. Where'd you go from there? Never be ashamed of Jesus. Go to 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 8. Be not thou therefore, this is Paul the apostle writing to Timothy, who was a young minister of the gospel. He says, be not thou therefore ashamed of the testimony of our Lord, nor of me his prisoner. He says, don't be ashamed of the testimony of our, what's the testimony? The gospel of Jesus Christ. Nor of me, he says, but be thou partaker of the afflictions of the gospel according to the power of God. Never be ashamed of Jesus, nor of his message. And like Paul said, nor of his ministers. Let me take it to another one. Romans chapter 1 and verse number 16. Here was Paul's own declaration. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. For it is the power of God unto salvation to every one that believeth, to the Jew first and also to the Greek. Wow, wow. Look at that again. I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation. Yes. Why would you be ashamed of a message that saves? There's nothing like it in the world that turns sinners into saints, that washes your heart as white as snow, cleanses you. The next verse says something so beautiful. Look at it. For therein, in this gospel of Jesus Christ, for therein is the righteousness of God revealed from faith to faith. As it is written, the just shall live by faith. Look at that. In the gospel is the righteousness of God revealed. Why would you be ashamed of something that contains the righteousness of God? You can't find it anywhere else. There's nowhere to find the righteousness of God but the gospel of Jesus Christ. Man can't even define righteousness. Did you know that? They don't know what it is. Only the Bible. Only the Bible. The Bible defines righteousness. Only the Bible. Only the Bible explains righteousness. And only in the message of the Bible concerning Jesus Christ delivers and imparts righteousness to man. You can get it any other way.